And we're moving now into the final home stretch of the application essay. This is the section in which you're going to be telling us exactly whether or not what you saw was a good or bad thing. And good or bad could be evaluated in two ways. We could talk about it in terms of ethics, which we hope is included in all papers, as well as effectiveness, basically saying, did the communication strategy work or did it not work? So now that you've demonstrated that you understand the material and that you can apply it to your own life, we bring the paper to a close by having you evaluate the ethics of the situation you described. That means that everybody's paper is going to have the same base requirement. That is, that you evaluate at least one ethical concern that you see in the story. Now, after you get the first assignment, you will probably only be a third to a half the way through the course, which means you won't have a lot of ethical terminology to use yet. Just think of it this way. Anytime you're making a moral judgment, you're evaluating the ethics. Of course, you could spend an entire semester or years in philosophy and come up with all kinds of ethical concerns, but just think in simple terms such as dishonesty, selfishness, greediness, aggressiveness. And also remember, you could go the other direction and say that somebody did something that was great, maybe self sacrificing, somebody who was being the bigger person. These are all ethical judgments that you could make and would be fair game. Just make sure you explain them. But in addition to that, you could also talk about the effectiveness of the communication, basically saying whether or not the communication that was engaged in worked for whatever its original intended goal was. The combination of those two, ethics and effectiveness, is what we like to call communication competence. Because doing only one of those two isn't always going to be the best kind of communication you could get. And that's what this paper, hopefully, has helped you begin to see as you looked at the communication that's happening in your everyday lives.